Welcome to Rockingham Motor Speedway for the fourth meeting of the season for the BRSCC Fiesta Championship. Class C cars are behind me, ready to get their first race underway. So Richard, quickly over to you.
Thanks very much, Scott. Simon Horrobin on pole with David Nye completing the front row, then Samuel Watkins and Danny Harrison. Lee Dendy Sadler fifth from Nick Sanderson, then it's Ryan Falconbridge, Josh Watkins, Lewis Kent and Josh Gollin completing the top 10. 11th is Richard Ashmole from Morgan Jones, Sam Priest and Richard Dawson. John Davidson, Nathan Edwards and Jamie Going completing the 17 car grid. So split fields this weekend once again, classes A, B and D running separately, so hats off to the BRSCC for their work and promotion of this formula, which means that we have a grid that is basically too big to run here, and we therefore have the Class C cars running again on their own. It's been a little while since we've had that, but very, very good to see. Lights go out on round 9 of the championship with the orange car of Simon Horrobin, the old guard, really having something of a renaissance here. Great start by the two youngsters though. Danny Harrison in red looking around the outside of Lee Dendy Sadler. Great to see Lee getting a win last time out. Danny Harrison trying to slot into that third place ahead of Dendy Sadler. On the outside line there is Sam Watkins in 7, being followed by the white 77 of Josh Gollin. Looks like and Watkins has got a problem. He's being swallowed up by the field. Very good avoidance by the field. And Watkins has very clearly got a problem. Danny Harrison up into second place. Harrison nips on the inside line of David Nye to take second. Remember, the outright championship for the Fiestas this year gets a British Touring Car Championship drive. No other championship offers it to the overall championship winner. So the Fiesta's very clearly the place to be. Lewis Kent in white and orange going wide there. Sam Priest is back with us. You probably figured that one out from the grid. The defending champion there in car number 19. And he is just ahead of Richard Ashmole, who joined us last time at Silverstone. These cars make a wonderful sight around the Rockingham circuit. They're all just beginning to settle down. And it's Simon Horrobin, multi-race winner. He's only had one race win so far. Race 3 at Brands Hatch, the opening event of the year. Danny Harrison, who won the opening race of the opening event of the year, is in second. The blue number 9 is Nick Sanderson, the Wokingham Surrey-based man, who has, barring round 8, finished all of the races so far this year. So it's been a consistent season for him so far, and he pedalled his blue car into the Brook S's. Rest of the field making their way through. Oh, and I was about to say without problem, but contact there between Morgan Jones and John Davidson in 2-1-2. I think they're both, well, I was going to say they're both continuing, but things not looking happy for Morgan Jones, who pulls the car up on the entrance to turn 4, and immediately the race officials here have declared a purple code 60. If you haven't seen this before, a new initiative this year by the British Racing and Sports Car Club, whereby rather than scramble a safety car, the purple code 60 flag is shown. The drivers will hold station. They will hold the distance that they had to the car in front, and they will drop down to 60 kilometres per hour while the rescue work goes on. From the race organisers' point of view, it means they don't have to scramble the safety car on a long lap like the Rockingham ISS circuit, which we're on at the moment. ISS, incidentally, standing for International Super Sports Circuit, and this is the long version of the Super Sports, where we go right the way out to the Corby corner on the inside of the straightaway between turns 2 and 3 on the oval. It's a long lap, and we don't have to wait for the safety car to go back in because the green flags are shown. It means the drivers have to be very much aware of looking at the flags and what's going on, and I think they all read that pretty well. Although, having said that, there was contact, and getting involved in the contact was Nick Sanderson. Look at the damage on the back end of Nick's car. We're on board with Richard Ashmole at the moment, and Sanderson's picked up a little bit of damage. Let's see whether that's going to cause a problem for him. Sanderson on the outside line. Ashmole's going to try and nip through. Ashmole qualified 11. Nick Sanderson was in 6th place, so he has indeed lost a little bit of ground. Ashmole here coming into the Tarzan hairpin. Then we go past the school building on the left. Can't really see from the onboard. Very slightly uphill. Downhill now into the Brook S's. Sam Priest continues to try and make a little bit of progress. I'm wondering if Sam feels a little bit race rusty. Was last year's champion. They're greeted by the green flags. Danny Harrison crosses the line in second place. Simon Horrobin still there. Then David Nye, Josh Gollin in 77. Ryan Falconbridge in 13. And Jamie Going, who started at the back of the field in 46, is making some progress. I think I forgot to mention Lee Dendy Sadler there at head of this group, and a great move by Josh Gollin on the inside line of David Nye, with Ryan Falconbridge looking to go through on the inside, but that converts to the outside for the next corner. Watch this as they go into the right hand of Falconbridge. Very nearly had the position to pass David Nye, but Nye's racecraft knew. But having said that, Falconbridge now looks up the inside line, got a good run out of Yentwood into Chapman Corner, but again Nye should in theory have the inside line up into Piff Paff, and he does. He nabs the place. They're heading up towards Corby, where our camera is now. So Knight and Falconbridge having a very good race of it. Back with Richard Ashmole challenging Josh Watkins. So good race between these two, just outside the top 10 here. So some serious points that need to be had. Simon Horrobin, incidentally, first pole position of the year. Danny Harrison, double pole setter for the first two races of the year. Lee Dendy Sadler took pole at Silverstone, and we're watching David Nye still in fifth position. Josh Gollin in white immediately ahead. Ryan Falconbridge in behind, with Sam Priest now up into seventh place from 13th on the grid. It doesn't look like Priest is going to be able to make a lot more inroads into position here, but he has chipped away, Sam Priest, from 13th up into seventh position here. And the same needs to be said for Jamie Going, who is in the white and green livery of his Jam Sport team. Keep your eyes open for Jamie, who's immediately behind him, goes through turn 4. Then we've got Richard Dawson, Josh Watkins, Richard Ashmole in the mix as well, and Ashmole looking to the outside line here of Josh Watkins going into turn 1, and here's the in-car view. What a super view it is, right the way out to the wall. There's no runoff area there. This first corner is certainly only for the brave, and very, very wide indeed into the hairpin for Richard Ashmole, who runs wide. Josh Watkins gets that 10th position back. Richard Dawson running in 9th place at the moment, and then Josh Watkins is next up. We've had a few retirements here, as well as John Davidson we saw with Morgan Jones at the end of lap number 1. Lewis Kent, the championship leader, is out of the race as well. I think that's Lewis's first retirement of the year. Just checking my notes. Yes, it is. So Lewis Kent, he can afford that because you can have drop scores in this championship, and Lewis Kent will probably need those. But into the last 2 miles of round 9 of the championship, it is Simon Horrobin looking for a second win of the year. Horrobin is well clear, 5 seconds clear of Danny Harrison. So Harrison has had a good race, the youngster from South Benfleet, who has had 2 wins so far, 1 second. Fair few retirements sadly for Danny Harrison, but he's getting himself back on terms this weekend. Danny Harrison, of course, having his first season of senior racing after moving up from the juniors and running on a limited budget as well. But Simon Horrobin, as I said at the start of the race, the old guard seems to be having a renaissance here, and Horrobin planted it on pole, converted that into a lead in fine style at the start of the lap, comes through Piff Paff and up into Corby for the last time. Look at the lead he's got. Horrobin will be looking in his mirrors, probably backing off. Got fastest lap of the race back on lap 5 as well, 1:45.1, averaging a shade over 70 miles an hour around this circuit. There is Danny Harrison in second. Lee Dendy Sadler is in third place. So Lee Dendy Sadler looking for another podium here to add to the win that he took last time. And Lee Dendy Sadler, mark my words, a driver who's going to get more and more consistent and bag more wins. And you wouldn't rule him out of this year's championship, certainly not for next year, should he come back. And look at this race here with Ryan Falconbridge all over the back end of David Nye, but Nye is going to hang on to the outside line, which will convert to the inside into the Brook S's. He's got a little bit more momentum at the moment coming out of Tarzan, coming out of turn 4 though, And to head towards the checkered flag is Simon Horrobin, who will pick up his second win of the season, a win at Brands and now a win at Rockingham Motor Speedway. Danny Harrison will take second place. There is Danny. Lee Dendy Sadler is third, just ahead of Josh Gollin. David Nye and Ryan Falconbridge still racing hard. Nye just getting fifth position ahead of Ryan Falconbridge. Sam Priest comes home in seventh from Jamie Going, Richard Dawson and Richard Ashmole completing the top 10. The finishers completed by Josh Watkins in 11th and Nick Sanderson in 12th. Simon Horrobin gets the fastest lap. Non-finishes Lewis Kent, John Davidson, Sam Watkins, Morgan Jones and Nathan Edwards.
Well, Simon's second win of the season, and looks like you're enjoying yourself in the sunshine.
Yeah, well, I like Rockingham, and they sorted a few problems out with the car, and I just think I got a little bit of a jump on the boys, and kept my car alive, and just managed to pull away a little bit.
Looks like you found some form this weekend.
But as I said, I was always going to come back. It was just we had a few niggly problems, but nice place to come back in the sun.
Well, Danny, back on the podium once again, very strong second place, but looked like it was hot work out there.
Yeah, definitely. The weather was horrible to be in the car. It was just too hot to even concentrate, but we were just trying to maintain our gap between thirds, just to reserve tyres for this next race.
Well, Lee, you're on a roll now. That was a win at Silverstone, now a third place. Seems to be quite enjoying the podium.
Yep, absolutely. Glad to be back on the podium. Hoping for the same in the second race, of course. This was a pretty good race. I got a good start. I think I was up to third relatively quickly and managed to hold it all the way through. Said it after Silverstone, say the same again now. It's all down to the guys at Race Car Consultants. They prepare a great car, and their support for me as a driver is fantastic. So really, really owe it to them. Thank you to all of the guys there.
So Class C have had their turn on track. Now it's time for Classes A, B and D to strut their stuff. And what a fantastic, colourful looking grid it is for the cars coming out. And on pole for Class D and overall is overall points leader Jamie White. I'm going to quickly have a quick word with the former multiple mini champion here. Jamie, quick word. Back on form and pole position. How's it looking for the race today?
Hopefully good. We're good in qualifying yesterday, got a good time in. So hopefully we can just get a good start, clean start through the turn one, then just hopefully get head down and go.
Fingers crossed, best of luck.
Thank you.
Right, let's see how Jamie and the rest of the cars get on. Over to Richard for the first race for Classes A, B and D.
Thank you, Scott. Jamie on pole. John Cooper is alongside row 2, Stuart Robbins and Steve Bull. Jack Ewell and Tom Hutchins on row 3. Sean Andrews is next from Penny Jones. Class A pole with Tim Bennett from Colin Newbold and Theo Bridgman Williams. Class B pole position, Derek Robinson ahead of Sean Banks and Chris Horn. 14 cars for Classes A, B and D here at Rockingham. Split away for the first time this year from the Class C runners. A very welcome sight, split grids. And it gives these guys a chance to shine in front of the race fans that have come to watch the action here this weekend at Rockingham. We've got a flag start about to get underway. Now, racing is underway here at Rockingham Circuit. What a great start by John Cooper. On the inside line, though, it's pole position man Jamie White, who's challenging through on the inside line, side by side Stuart Robbins and the red car of Steve Bull going through turn one. Good start by all concerned, but it's Jamie White who grabs the initiative once again. Inside line, down in towards the hairpin goes Jamie White. Fight on for second place with John Cooper around the outside. That could pay dividends for Cooper, coming down into the right-hander to grab second position at Yentwood. Well, really good start then, by all concerned. The Class A's and B's also getting stuck in. The outside line there for car 76, Derek Robinson. Class winner in race number 1 at Silverstone a couple of weeks ago. We're on board with Sean Andrews, the High Wycombe racer. Still trying to get onto a podium position and piling the pressure on. And that's Jack Ewell in front of him, the 93 car, the man from Stroud. Jack on his day, podium finisher, still looking for a first class win in the Formula. And meanwhile out front though, it's still Jamie White in green, the race leader, but coming under pressure from John Cooper with 00 Stuart Robbins next up. Then it's Tom Hutchins, and then we pick up on the A and B class cars with Colin Newbold there. Colin took a class win, race number 1 at Silverstone. It was Tim Bennett won the other 2 races at Silverstone. Bennett picking up 2 wins as well at Brands Hatch. John Bateman winning the other races this year, not on the grid this weekend. And here's the continued battle between Steve Bull and Sean Andrews, and we go on board with that. Look how close they get. I say it every time, but it's such a thrilling shot. Coming out of turn 4, right the way up to the wall, heading towards turn 1. So here we come on turn 1, 7 degrees of banking on turn 1, and it's pretty much unique as Jamie White outbrakes himself going down into the Dean hairpin on the grass. I thought he was off to Market Harborough there for a moment. He wouldn't want to have done that. Jamie White's going to be furious with himself for that. Was there a car problem? Very hot temperatures today. It may be that the brakes perhaps not as effective as they could be. Rejoined in front of Jack Ewell with the 30 car. Steve Bull joining us this weekend. Steve Bull is there as well in red. Down behind him, so we'll have to see what Jamie White can do. But all this now, with Jamie White in 4th position, leaves the 88 car of John Cooper, very much the form man of Class D, because Jamie White won the first 5 rounds of the year, 3 at Brands, 2 at Cadwell Park, and then John Cooper took over the mantle at Silverstone with a hat-trick, and it looks like, having been gifted the lead, and I hate using the term gifted, but Jamie White did go straight on. Cooper went through. You really want to see the pair of them in a straight race, to be perfectly honest, but whatever happened, and it means that John Cooper is out front. He's going to be grateful for that, looking for his 4th win of the season. Here's the view then, coming towards us into the Brook S's. 2nd place, Stuart Robbins in the 00. Here is the Brook S's, so going left hand. 3rd place at the moment is Tom Hutchins. Then Jamie White, who's had a clean sheet this year in terms of race finishes. He's finished every single race so far this year. Jack Ewell is next and starting to put a bit of pressure on him, but now we've got a battle on for 2nd. Tom Hutchins keeping it tight to the white line and going through on the inside line. Hutchins goes up into 2nd. He's got his nose into 2nd place. John Cooper is still the race leader. How is this going to wind up for 2nd place? Hutchins has got the title line again. Trying to hang on is Stuart Robbins, and if he can hang on to that outside line, he'll carry that down on the inside into Yentwood. Is the view a little bit further back from the 17 car of Sean Andrews. It's all getting very physical in front with that red machine trying to go through. Steve Bull side by side with Jack Ewell, clouts him in the rear quarter. And the back end gets all squirrely, and going through Chapman Curve, he loses it. That's hard lines. Really, the car was distracted, you've got to say, by that knock on the back end by Jack Ewell. And Steve Bull off the circuit, gets his thoughts together, pops it in gear, and he will rejoin the race. Let's hope that there's no lasting damage on Steve Bull's car, that he will finish the race. Jack Ewell there in 93 seems to escape. Top 3 as you were, Cooper, Robbins and Hutchins. Jamie White 4th, 5th place Ewell. Then the 17 car of Sean Andrews. And we look back, so we'll pick up on the Class B cars, Class A cars headed by Colin Newbold from Tim Bennett in 2nd, both of whom have won in class this year. Next up is Theo Bridgman Williams. Joined the championship from the BRSCC XR Challenge last year and has stayed with us thus far. And then the Class B runners, Derek Robinson, Chris Horn and Sean Banks, all still going as well. So out of turn 4 we've got Penny Jones in the mix as well in her Class D Fiesta Z-Tech S. And Penny trying to close down on Theo Bridgman Williams at the moment. Let's see if Penny can make a move. Certainly running well, getting good momentum around turn 1. And the ex-Mighty Mini race. The Mighty Mini is another formula that have produced some great racers over the years. A very healthy Ladies' Cup in Mighty Mini racing as well. Penny Jones, the product of that, goes out of the hairpin. Derek Robinson still in the lead of the Class B battle at the moment. Sean Banks and Chris Horn busy trying to take the battle to those. Chris Horn at the minute, though, is the man doing the challenging there in the black and green car. And then Sean Banks in the white and green car immediately behind. So those guys have, Banks and Horn have swapped over from their qualifying positions. Just the 3 cars in classes A and B, but have been very competitive. As I said, we've had lots of different winners in both of the classes and given us some good entertainment over the course of the season so far. On to the last lap, 2 miles to go for John Cooper, looking for his 4th win of the year, and is clear by very nearly 10 seconds from Stuart Robbins. Cooper has the fastest lap of the race as well, a shade under 70 miles per hour here in the Z-Tech S, and challenges going on down the road. Look at Jack Uhill looking all over the back of Tom Hutchins at the moment. So Hutchins in 3rd and looking good potentially for a 2nd podium of the year, if my maths are right, for Hutchins. And this time it's going to be an outright 3rd place because it's a standalone, that immaculately prepared car. Daniels Motorsport, as you can see, looking after that machine, and they've given him a good car. But it's John Cooper who comes through Gracelands for the last time, heading down towards the hairpin at Tarzan. The Simply Car Sales machine is up front. We incidentally lost Jamie White, his 1st retirement of the year. I think I've given him the curse of the commentator, saying he'd had a clean sheet, but it's the 1st retirement of the year for him. It will be a drop score, so maybe won't concern him too much. There is Stuart Robbins 2nd, still the battle on for 3rd place. Jack Ewell looking up the inside line, but he's a little bit too far back from Tom Hutchins, the Crowborough Sussex-based driver, who's going to hang on for another podium. Had a podium at Brands Hatch, his 1st podium of the year. Hasn't been on the podium since then, but he's going to do it. Here, though, is John Cooper, who's going to take the checkered flag. Cooper wins round 9 of the championship here at Rockingham and wins in fine style by 9 seconds. Let's see what the gap is as Stuart Robbins is going to cross the line now. 9.3 seconds. Tom Hutchins is 4th. Jack Uhill comes home. Jack Uhill comes home in 3rd position. Here comes Colin Newbold. Then Penny Jones, 5th in class, is going to take 6th position. Jack Ewell excluded from the result, though, for driving in a manner incompatible with general safety. So it was John Cooper the winner, Stuart Robbins, Tom Hutchins, Sean Andrews, Colin Newbold wins Class A, Penny Jones next, Theo Bridgman Williams 2nd in A, Derek Robinson wins Class B from Chris Horn and Sean Banks. They complete the finishers for round 9 of the BRSCC Fiesta Championship classes A, B and D.
With John, 4th victory in a row, but wasn't without its hairy moments.
No, it was a quite tight race to start with. Good move on Jamie into turn 2 and I managed to sneak away then.
Good stuff. So you and Jamie seemed to have pretty quite tight back. There was one moment up at Dean where you both outbraked yourselves.
Yeah, I think I was going a little bit deep. He tried to go a little bit deeper and we both went deeper than we should have done. So, but it was a good move.
So you've done a Class A victory. How was it out there?
It was hot, but it was great. I like the circuit. I've never raced here before and it's cool. It's a really good circuit. Very, very grippy. On a day like today, anyway. It's good fun.
But Derek, another strong Class B victory. Looked like it was good fun out there.
Oh, very, very exciting. Hard work, really was hard work. I've done well to escape the late, to be honest.
And also in very hot conditions. How are you coping out there?
Drinking plenty of water. That's all we can do, really. But no, it was a good race. It was clean as well, so it was a bit of argy-bargy at the beginning. But no, it was a good race. Right? I really enjoyed myself.
We're getting set for the 2nd Class C race here at Rockingham Motor Speedway. Simon Horrobin looking to try and make it 2 from 2 once again from pole position. But the man that we are going to have a chat to is right down the end here, because he's actually one of the new boys in Class C this weekend, and it's actually the 99 down the end of Morgan Jones. Have a quick chat to him. Morgan, good to have you in the championship. How are you finding your first weekend?
It's been up and down. We qualified 12th. We missed the sweet spot with the tyres, really. We only had 2 laps with the temperature. They're just overheating this weekend, and unfortunately we had a setup on Friday that worked with old tyres, but just gave me a bit too much oversteer on new tyres. So we came in, but by that point the tyres were already overheated, and we just couldn't get a decent lap in. And then this morning, unfortunately, got tagged by another driver just a bit unsighted into the chicane on the first lap. So it was a bit unfortunate, but race 2, like it's a new start. We've got some fresh tyres on for this one. Hopefully have a good hack from the back.
Fingers crossed, have a good one.
Cheers, thank you.
Let's see how Morgan and the rest of the drivers get on. Back over to Richard for race 2.
Thank you, Scott. Simon Horrobin on pole from Danny Harrison, Lee Dendy Sadler and Josh Goll in row 2. David Nye, Ryan Falconbridge ahead of Sam Priest and Jamie Going. Richard Dawson and Richard Ashmore completing the top 10. Then it's Josh Watkins and Nick Sanderson. Next up, Lewis Kent and John Davidson. Sam Watkins, the youngster we just heard from, Morgan Jones, is next, and Nathan Edwards completing the grid. Morgan Jones, based in Cambridgeshire, so local circuit for him, raced in the Mini Challenge in 2016 with Coastal Racing. So if you've heard the name before, that's where he comes from. He's in the red car towards the back of the field after the non-finish. He's got the blue mirrors. But out front, Simon Horrobin and Danny Harrison to renew battle, followed by Lee Dendy Sadler, Josh Gollin, David Nye in 5th position. It's a flagged start. The lighting gantry not working properly. So we're away. Very good start by Danny Harrison. Hooks up well. Harrison looking at the outside line on turn 1. Simon Horrobin trying to consolidate the lead. Ryan Falconbridge side by side with David Nye. Jamie Going in the mix as well. Cracking start from the Class C BRSCC Fiestas, but it's Simon Horrobin that consolidated that lead. Harrison in 2nd. Josh Gollin looks around the outside in 77. Here's the view from Richard Ashmole. Up ahead of Richard, Championship leader Lewis Kent, who did have a 100% finishing record coming into this meeting. And bang, into the side of Jamie Going goes Richard Ashmole. Doesn't seem to put the Jam Sport team boss off at all. And he's hanging on to it. I think that's Josh Watkins on the outside line. Josh Watkins, like Lewis Kent, or well, not like Lewis Kent. Lewis Kent lost his 100% finishing record in race number 1, but Josh Watkins has still started and finished every race this year. As too has Richard Dawson, the man from Kidderminster. So just the 2 drivers in Class C, having started and finished every single race. We'll have to look at statistics separately for Classes A, B and D in their races. Richard Ashmole dicing here with Nathan Edwards. Nathan's had a pretty miserable season so far. 3 retirements to open up the year. Another 2 rounds 8 and 9. Silverstone last race and the first race here at Rockingham. Sam Priest and Richard Dawson. There is Richard, 100% finisher, car number 8. So steady progress for him. And the race leader, Simon Horrobin, still there with Danny Harrison in 2nd. Bit of a gap back to 3rd place. And it's Josh Gollin being chased down by Lee Dendy Sadler, then David Nye. Ryan Falconbridge is next, and they're all in pretty good order as they cross the line. So Simon Horrobin looking to grab another win. The key thing from race number 1, with it being Lewis Kent's first non-finish of the year, does eat into his championship lead. Now we do have drop scores, so in essence a retirement just becomes a drop score and won't really erode too much of the championship lead away, because you actually drop less points, if that makes sense. But it will be a disappointment for him. He won't want too many of those as Richard Ashmole gets passed by Nathan Edwards, who's used up his tally of drop scores already. Sorry, Nathan, to rub it in. He's having a good race there at the moment with Richard Ashmole. David Nye hard on the heels of the number 11 4th place car of Lee Dendy Sadler. Great podium for him in race number 2. Lee Dendy Sadler really getting to grips with Fiesta racing now. Took that superb win in race 3 at Silverstone. Started on pole position and worked his way back, Lee Dendy Sadler. It was a great meeting for him to come through and take a splendid win. Had 2 good results, 2 4th positions as well, but to take pole, drop back to 4th and then built his confidence up over the course of the meeting, bagged that first ever win, which was great to see, and another podium in race number 1. So very much a star of this championship as we are on board with Danny Harrison chasing the race leader along School Straight, very nearly onto the entrance into the School pit lane, and having a look here, trying to hunt down the race leader, but at the moment it's Simon Horrobin who's hard on the brakes there, maintains the lead. Horrobin still in front. Danny Harrison close now, and a little mistake was there from Horrobin, who runs wide on the last part of the complex, and Danny Harrison is through into the lead now. Is that a problem for the erstwhile race leader, the race 1 winner? Danny Harrison certainly pounced, and look how close to the wall he was getting from that onboard shot. Real spectacular stuff, brave stuff from these racers, going right the way out to the concrete wall. There's no runoff here. It's a big accident if you have one along the straight or around turn 1 or even on the way down into the hairpin. So Danny Harrison it is that leads. Super race going on here with Nathan Edwards getting stuck in with Josh Watkins. Edwards on the inside line, goes through. Richard Ashmole with our onboardies there as well. Sam Priest is behind them. The orange car with the blue top. Trying to close in. Nick Sanderson is there as well. Nick Sanderson finished 12th in race number 1. And hoping to make a little bit more progress in this one. But on to the last lap. Danny Harrison is the race leader. Goes through turn 1. Is going to bag, by the look of it, a 3rd win of the year. He has had 4 retirements so far. But when he finishes usually very strongly. A win in round 1, 2nd place in round 6, a win in round 7, 2nd place in round 9 here earlier on. And this has been a very consistent weekend's work for Danny Harrison. Graduated from the Junior Championship and really got everybody talking at Brands Hatch when he secured pole position for his first senior race. And that really is what junior racing is producing this year. Whether it's the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship or any one of the plethora of other junior championships that are now available for drivers who don't want to stick in karts and just want to get on with the move into car racing on the circuits. And a lot of drivers are doing that now. Why stay in karts when you can come and race such great cars as the BRSCC Fiesta Championship? Just get on with the job when you're 14, do a couple of years in the junior formula, then graduate up to a senior formula when you're 16. You can stay in the juniors till you're 17. And we'll tell you more about that in our sister programme, which is also on this weekend here at Rockingham. And Danny Harrison, very much a product of the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship, and clear of Josh Gollin in 2nd place. Simon Horrobin having retired on lap 2, along with Lewis Kent. So the championship leaders having a dismal day here, but it's going to be Danny Harrison who picked up the pieces, made a great move down the inside after problems for Simon Horrobin. There's the checkered flag. Danny Harrison is going to take it. He's about 4.5 seconds clear of Josh Gollin. Harrison wins. Josh Gollin takes his equal best result in 2nd place. Lee Dendy Sadler bags another podium. David Nye will take 4th position. Ryan Falconbridge is next. He is in 5th. And watch for the 6th place car, which is going to be Jamie Going. Here comes Jamie flashing the lights, buzzes the pit wall. Richard Ashmole next. Following Richard Ashmole, it is Sam Priest, Nick Sanderson. Morgan Jones gets into the top 10 in his first finish. So there we are, fastest lap as well to Danny Harrison. 11th place goes to Nathan Edwards. 12th is Richard Dawson, and in 13th position is Josh Watkins.
But Danny is 2nd and now 1st place. That was really the weekend you needed after a couple of difficult ones.
Yeah, definitely, but I'd like to thank all my sponsors for it, because if it weren't for them I wouldn't be here. Massive thanks to Works Hand Cleaning Products and Ridley Diddley Racing. But overall it was a good weekend. It's exactly what we wanted out of it. We always wanted some solid finishes to get some points for the championship after quite a lot of DNFs due to mechanicals and problems like that. But this weekend was mega. Mutation Motorsport helped us along the way, so massive thanks to them as well.
Just quickly, how do you look back at the first half of the season? It's been a mixture, some victories, some ups and downs. It's sort of been tale of two sides, really.
Yeah, well, if we don't take the championship into consideration, we're really happy with what we've come, because we come up from juniors as the youngest senior driver. We weren't expecting top 10 finishes really, but when we come out for the first race and hold it and then won it, we just knew it was all up from there.
With Josh, a strong 2nd place to end the weekend. How was that out there?
Very tough. I think that was one of the hottest races I've done. It wasn't just difficult for me, it was difficult for the car, the engine, the tyres, everything. I think it was just a case of pushing for a fast few first 3 laps and then just nursing the car home, trying to keep it all in one piece of the flag. And so I've got to say a big thanks to my mechanics, Ross, Sam, and my dad, who worked tirelessly throughout the week to prepare the car. Big thanks to them.
It's been a bit of an up and down sort of first half of the season for you. How do you sum it up overall?
I think we've had the pace. There's been a few incidents. I've been a bit disappointed with some of the contact, and moving forwards, just trying to keep it clean and getting the results. And I'm sure if we keep hanging around in the top 3, we'll get that first win soon enough.
I was about to say, how soon do you think that is?
You never know with the Fiestas. It's such a wild championship with so many fast drivers in it. You know, there's probably 8, 9, 10 drivers who could win a race really.
Leas, another third place. You're starting to quite like the podium now, aren't you?
I am. Shame it's not 1 or 2 higher, but it's it's a good result. Solid, just bagging the points, especially as there's been a few of those at the top of the leaderboard that have dropped out of this round. So puts the championship challenge back on track. So yeah, really good result.
Just briefly, first half of the season, again, bit of a tricky start, but you've really found your form towards this point here at Rockingham.
Yeah, absolutely. Much more consistency now, which is good. It's once again down to a great car that race car consultants prepare. Have to thank them wholeheartedly. They're a great bunch of guys. But yeah, I think it could have been maybe a bit higher, but I went into 5th rather than 3rd after the second corner and I got swamped. But yeah, good result.
Time for the 4th and final race this weekend for the Fiestas at Rockingham Motor Speedway. This one being the second encounter for classes A, B and D. John Cooper, race 1 winner, will start in pole position. Alongside him will be Stuart Robbins in the 00, whilst class poles go to Colin Newbold in Class A and Derek Robertson in Class B. Richard, for one final time, over to you.
Thanks very much, Scott. John Cooper starts on pole position, then outright Stuart Robbins next from Jack Ewell and Tom Hutchins. Then Sean Andrews and Colin Newbold, Penny Jones and Theo Bridgman Williams ahead of Derek Robinson, Chris Horn, Sean Banks and Jamie White. Then it's Steve Bull and Tim Bennett completing the grid. At the back there you can see Steve Bull in red, Tim Bennett in the blue and white car. But looking to make it a double outright here is John Cooper, who starts the black car with the red and green flashes. The black car with the red mirrors on the outside of the front row is Stuart Robbins. We'll have the race underway by flag in just a moment. There is the flag. And the second race for classes A, B and D in the BRSCC Fiesta Championship underway. Good start by John Cooper. Stuart Robbins to the outside. Jack Ewell is in 3rd. 4th position is Sean Andrews in white. Looking round the outside line is Tom Hutchins on board with Ewell. And a great view of the leading pair. Jack wants to get past these two. Is he going to squeeze up the inside, or is he just going to wait and see how it pans out between the two of them? Might do well to nip down the inside, because the race leader is John Cooper, looking to make it 5 wins in succession. John Cooper, he makes a good start. I was going to say on the grid, keep your eyes on the green 45 car of Jamie White, starting off the back after the non-finish already, has cleared all of the Class A cars, all of the Class B machines, and getting his teeth stuck into the Class Ds as well. So Jamie White, showing the form that we saw when he was part of the Mighty Mini Championship, is already up to 4th place. So a super first lap from him, and putting Jack Ewell under pressure at the moment. Let's see what White can do. Coming up into Corby, the green car very clearly has got some momentum. Tom Hutchins down in 5th place, then the blue and white leading Class A car of Tim Bennett. So let's see what the 45 car can do. Jamie White in 4th place, Jack Ewell immediately in front of him. Takes a wide line coming in here to Tarzan, who'll look to try and hold on. Problems there for 17 car. Sean Andrews is well off circuit. I'm not sure if that's going to necessitate a purple code 60. Maybe they'll want to move the car, but the race leader's already coming down into the Brook S's for the first time, very nearly clearing it, and it's still John Cooper out front. Jamie White needs to do some damage limitation here and at least get up onto the podium to grab some points. As we said in race number 1, there's the purple code 60 flag. So all the drivers, basically what they'll do, the race leader will bring the speed down to 60 kilometres per hour. The other drivers have to maintain the gap to the car in front. It's their responsibility to do so. If they don't do that, they'll find themselves with a time penalty or up in the clerk's office later on if they gain an unfair advantage. But as we said in the programme before, a new initiative for this year, we've seen it a couple of times. There's the recovery of Sean Andrews' car, which is moved to safety. The flag goes green, so again you don't have to wait for a full lap of safety car or 2 laps of safety car. We could go. It's a very good start indeed by Jack Ewell, who looks on the outside line there of Stuart Robbins, challenging hard. Then Jamie White in 4th place. Tom Hutchins is in 5th. The B and A class cars getting stuck in as well, and they're headed by Theo Bridgman Williams at the moment in car number 22. Jamie White looks around the outside line. White trying to get on terms here with Jack Uhill. Ewell's on the outside as they come down into the Brook Esses. Let's have a look and see whether the green machine is going to do. Look at that, through on braking. Great move by Jamie White. White goes up into the podium. 3rd place with a great dive down the inside, and White teed that up superbly with a great run down into Tarzan. Carried the momentum round the outside line. He knew that he needed the inside for the Brook Esses, and he goes through into 3rd position. The green car greeted by the green flag in 3rd place. Jack Ewell back in 4th. Then it's Tom Hutchins who goes through in 5th position, trying to get on terms with these boys now. Down the road, though, is John Cooper, who had the fastest lap. We'll see now whether Jamie White can perhaps bag a fastest lap in this one as well. White up onto a podium, so super racing from him. He was right at the back of the grid for the start of this one after the non-finish in race number 1. Negotiates Yentwood corner. This is all about lines now, trying to reel in Stuart Robbins in 2nd position. Penny Jones busy chasing the number 16 car, Tim Bennett, who is Tim Bennett in front at the moment in Class A, having made a very good start. And sometimes you do see the leading Class A cars get in amongst some of the Class Ds. And indeed some of the Class Cs as well when we're racing with the Class Cs, particularly in the wet conditions, but thankfully I haven't had too many of those recently. Jamie White then in 3rd place. Is he going to be able to close down on Stuart Robbins? He's got work to do. It's pretty evident that he's not closing hand over fist at the moment, but he is working hard. Cooper leading, Robbins 2nd, then Jamie White 3rd, followed by Jack Ewell. Long school straight we go. Penny Jones passes Tim Bennett in the background. Tim Bennett having won the 2 races at Brands Hatch, and the only round he hasn't won at so far, Cadwell Park, where we saw a brace for John Bateman. Here comes the race leader though, John Cooper, across the line again. Cooper leads. 2nd position is Stuart Robbins. 3rd place is Jamie White. And I look back at the 22 car coming under pressure now. Theo Bridgman Williams coming under pressure from the red machine of Steve Bull. Then we have the light blue car of Colin Newbold. Then Derek Robinson in blue. The white and green car of Sean Banks is next up. So Derek Robinson leading from Sean Banks, who's done a reversal on Chris Horn in this one. Pretty close it is. There is the black and green car. Chris Horn back in 3rd place in Class B, and we're looking at Derek Robinson, who is leading Class B at the moment. The 3 cars all in shot together. It shows how close Class B is, and they're trying to get stuck in to Colin Newbold, who took a 2nd win of the season in Class A in race number 1. So good racing from this multi-class formula, and the history of the formula is adapted with the history of the Fiesta as well over the years, and long may it continue as well. Through goes Tom Hutchins. Then we've got Penny Jones next up with Tim Bennett in 16 there, but now we've got a challenge on for 2nd place. It's been a slow task, but Jamie White is now very much snapping at the heels of John Cooper, and after 2nd position here. White maybe too far away. Snapping at the heels of Stuart Robbins here. John Cooper away in the distance still, and he's got fastest lap in this one. Now watch Jamie White. He's going to have a look down the inside line, comes off line. This is all going to be about braking down into the Dean hairpin, and Jamie White is hard on the brakes, turns in, doesn't outbrake himself this time, gets his nose in front. Robbins tries to hang on the outside line and goes on the dirt to do so, and is still trying to get that outside line. Down into Yentwood. Masterly piece of fighting there by the 00 car. Stuart Robbins grabs the position back. He does not want to let it go. This is bringing Jack Ewell into the mix as well. So a 3-way battle for 2nd position. And Robbins there, a lesser driver would have let that go, but he hung on the outside line and held on to 2nd position. This squabbling is going to allow John Cooper to get away, but back through on the inside line again now. Super stuff at Corby corner. White goes back into second position, but keep your eyes on Stuart Robbins, who's going to try and get back in the mix. Robbins, I think it's position done, isn't it, for now? Maybe White's going to get a little bit of breathing space, but there goes the race leader, John Cooper, through. Second position is Jamie White, but a move up the inside line into Tarzan corner and back into second place goes Stuart Robbins. Robbins is back into second. Fine racing between the pair of them, but here comes Jamie White again. White's got the initiative. This is how he passed Newell earlier on. Goes in. Little bit of a tap on the back end. Oh no, over. Over goes Jamie White. Not what we wanted to see. Let's have a look at the onboard from Jack Ewart. It's just a light bit of contact and over the car went. You can see White's got the inside line. He clears it. Now very clearly there, Stuart Robbins avoided him on the first part of the complex. Little tag afterwards. There was nothing malicious in that at all. Jamie White is over. Well, the news is red flag. So the race is going to be over. Let's hope that Jamie is okay in the car. That's going to be red flag and also a checkered flag on the second race. The good news is that Jamie White was okay, the car obviously less so, and the result, John Cooper taking the win from Jack Ewell, Tom Hutchins and Steve Bull, with Colin Newbold winning Class A from Theo Bridgman Williams. Derek Robinson wins Class B, Chris Horn second in Class B from Sean Banks. Fastest laps, Jack Ewell in Class D, Colin Newbold Class A and Chris Horn in Class B.
Well, John, that's 5 on the bounce now. You're on a real roll now. That looked like a pretty tricky race.
Yeah, it got close towards the end. My tyres were going. Jack were catching me. Another couple of laps, I think he might have got me.
Well, Jack, third in race 1, but you've gone one better in race 2. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of hard work, quite stressful, trying to keep it clean this time. But yeah, it worked out.
Well, Derek, another Class B win. Looks like it's been a pretty fun weekend in the sun. Very enjoyable weekend and very profitable. Points in the bag and fastest lap, so I'm pleased with this weekend. Well, this weekend's quartet of Fiesta Championship races certainly were breathtaking to say the least. Congratulations to Simon Horrobin, Danny Harrison and John Cooper for the victories overall, and you'll see them next time out at Snetterton in Norfolk. But until then, stay tuned for more action from the BRSCC Fiesta Championship. Bye for now.